welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline at Sips Sports Bar, 3024 West Liberty Avenue, 15216, downtown Dormont here. We got a great crowd, there's great food. We got a new bartender replacing Tracy named Kelly here.
All right,
hey, Kelly! Good luck on our first Monday night here. She already got us well-watered, ginger ale, coffee, Pepsi, so we're good. And we have a lot of great guests. Dan the man, thanks.
This is fine, thank you.
He knows when to bring them, folks, right when I start talking.
Yeah, so Jim can get a few.
And he'll get a few, I guarantee it. Hey, we have a lot of great guests tonight, and we had a bunch of them last week. That Armand Ashley actually sang the national anthem, the full national anthem for the Pittsburgh Passion. And he's been tweeting out our show and everything else, so we're getting some publicity there. And what I wanted to bring up is we got the March for Babies on June 2nd, and this is with the Hainer Angels. Join the team or go to the website, and you can donate money there. You can walk with them, get people to donate. If somebody donates $50 and you march, I heard you get a free Pirate ticket to the game. So go with the Hainer Angels. And then we also have our event July 21st to the 27th. The Butler Wobbles, promoting this with the unicycle tournament. The NAUCC is coming into town. That'll be all through the week. We're going to try to go up and video one day. Dr. Trina Hess is practicing to get out there and try to win something. Then I got late breaking news. One of the ladies who's a great artist, Tempe Moore, will be at Robert Morris University. Check out her artwork. She does caricatures and famous sports people. Her sports memorabilia is super and it's reasonably priced. Go online and check her out. Art for Yins. That's Tempe Moore. Then I got to promote my man, Brenner Contracting. He gave us all golf shirts. I got more compliments on wearing a white golf shirt, so thanks, Little Z. Brenner Contracting, they do it all, from golf shirts to plumbing. I don't know, they'll even cut your trees down too. They'll build you a house. They even go down, I got my hair cut by Mary Ann at Azazu. They were even down there doing work at Pyatt Place there, so that Zach Brenner's everywhere. Well, now we go to the next segment. And you'll hear from me, Al Levine, the Talking Machine, Smoking Jim Frazier, Chip the Prophet Hainer, who's predicting the Pirates will be in the playoffs.
Yep.
How can you go wrong? Chip Hainer, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind? Thanks, Alan. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Another great Monday night here at Sips Sports Lounge. Well, what's on my mind is a little bit of the comical side of sports this week. There's been some memorable moments this week and some guys that are going to get out of my all-time Hall of Fame. And the first person that's going to start out there is Titus Young. Titus Young was a number 2 pick in the draft by the Detroit Lions. And he gets right up on my MVP list because he has gotten arrested 3 times in the last 7 days. This guy is really classic. First, he gets arrested last Sunday for driving under the influence. His car gets impounded. He's arrested for being drunk. So as soon as he gets released from the jail, well, he doesn't want to wait until the pound opens. He tries climbing the fence and getting his vehicle out of being impounded by himself. So strike 2, he's arrested a second time. So he's drunk, he gets his car taken from him, and he climbs the fence to try to get his car back while he's still drunk. Then it gets even better. Last night he got arrested again for breaking and entering. Was it resisting arrest and assault of an officer? So this is the guy that got thrown off the Detroit Lions, spent 10 days on the Rams roster before he got thrown off of that team. Now, I don't think he's ever going to play football again. So hats off to Titus Young. Next, another football player who I thought really made a really profound statement today, Justin Blackman, wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's a guy that's been busted so many times for doing drugs in the NFL that they finally given him a 4-game suspension. And he doesn't believe he has a drug problem. He says, I don't have a drug problem. I have a problem with making bad choices. Well, you know what? You don't get suspended for 4 games for testing positive for bad choices. So here's another one. And then, yesterday Tiger Woods won the Players' Championship, and I'm not a big Tiger Woods fan, but he got to tip my hat to him. But, the bonehead move of the weekend was Sergio Garcia, who has a problem playing with the lead or even contending for the lead, especially when he's playing Tiger Woods. So, he really kind of craps the bed. He quadruple bogeys the 17th hole. And
did he say that on air? No, I'm just kidding.
He double bogeys the 18th hole, and then he blames the fact that he lost on Tiger Woods and the attention that he was getting. Maybe because, he hit 3 balls into the water. That may have had something to do with him not winning the tournament, and I'm sure that was Tiger Woods' fault too. But these are some of the amusing things that were on my mind, Alan. But, keep it up, guys.
You covered enough there, Chip. Thank you. Excellent. And now, Smoking Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Hey, thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green, you got to see Levine.
Here, have a pen.
Hey, I want to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day. I was going to spend Mother's Day weekend in Cleveland, but I didn't want to get kidnapped. I just want to acknowledge a couple people that's in our audience that'll be here later on our show. My best friend is here. He's the head baseball coach of Carnegie Mellon University. He's also the CEO and general manager of his own scouting company. Please give a big hand for Claudio. Wave to your fans, Claudio.
Always a welcome.
Hold it, who's that walking by?
Oh,
Who's that guy? The kamikaze kid. No. Antina left us. She's no longer with us. That's what I heard. Yeah, till you come back. Get out of here.
And we also have a professional football team in the house, a women's professional football teams in the house, and everybody needs to get behind this group. I guarantee you'll see a return on your investment. Women's professional football, in my opinion, in the near future will be as big as the National Football League one day. So give a big hand for the owner of the Pittsburgh Force, Cat. Terry Bradshaw is one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. My opinion, Terry Bradshaw is one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL history. However, the greatest quarterback in Steeler history is Big Ben. Big Ben's the franchise. He's valuable. So why don't the Steelers get him a better offensive line? Left tackle Michael Adams is softer than a Dairy Queen ice cream cone. Listen, this guy failed a drug test twice for smoking marijuana, so he should never play on AstroTurf because clearly he plays better on grass. 350-pound Marcus Gilbert is only slow, he's fat, he's sloppy, and he's out of shape. And the only reason he's going to be the starting right offensive tackle is because he loves Big Ben Roethlisberger. At 350 pounds, he loves anything with burger in it. The Pittsburgh Steelers finally got rid of the holding machine. Willie Holding Machine Cologne is finally out of here. Willie Cologne, if he hugged his wife the way he hugs every defensive lineman in the NFL, he'd have 20 kids right now. And then what does the Steelers do? They replace the holding machine with Ramon Foster. Ramon Foster is slower than, I tell you what, this guy got the mobility of the son of Frankenstein. This ain't the life of the living dead. Coach Tomlin, quit trying to be Lazarus. Listen, Big Ben is the greatest quarterback in NFL history. He's playing behind the worst line in NFL history. Listen, Big Ben is not from Upper St. Hazelwood, but if he got the guts to play behind that bum offensive line, then he's the new Kamikaze Kid.
No big jam.
I'm not even going to try
Hit it
to.
out of the park again.
I think we have to go to a commercial break. All the promos I did, that's enough. No, we won't go to the. All I want to say is about the Pittsburgh Penguins. They put Vokun in there. He did great for 2 games. I mean, that's great. And then there's all this controversy. Fleury's our #1 goaltender. He has ups and downs, but he's the franchise goaltender. Since he's got here, for some reason, they like mistreating him. When he first come here, they sent him right back down. As soon as he does bad, everybody in town wants to throw him under the bus. I'm not throwing him under the bus. 12 more games to go. I don't care who's in goal. You got to play a little defense. That's what they were doing the last 2 games. They played some defense, even your star players. That helps us get the W's. 12 W's to go. I'm still on the Penguin bandwagon. And, Chipper, I'm on the Pirate bandwagon still. I don't care they're down 1-0 right now as we're watching it in Sip's Sports Bar. They'll come back. I'm a believer. And that's what's on my mind. All right, Kat, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to the show, Kat. It's great to see you again.
Nice to see you too. I smoke a gym.
Why don't you tell the people who you are, because we get new listeners all the time, and the old ones, they'll remember your name better.
Great. My name is Ferrari. I'm the owner of the Pittsburgh Force, women's professional football team. We're pretty much a semi-professional football team. We don't get paid right now, but
and you're looking for some sponsors to help the players out.
yes, looking for sponsors. There's $500 sponsors. They pay for the girls to play football, travel expenses, their uniforms, and complete our season as well.
And how do they get a hold of you?
PittsburghForce.net is our website. We're at PittsburghForce@gmail.com, and my phone number is 412-583-5774.
And you know I got to have you say PittsburghForce.net again. Oh, I said it. You don't have to. And your phone number so they can get a hold of you.
It's 412-583-5774.
And how many players did you bring us tonight, or coaches and everything? I heard
We
you
got a coach today and a veteran player today.
Okay,
Ashley.
great.
AJ, I should say AJ.
All right, well, we'll let you go. Thanks for being on the
Thank
show.
you for having me again.
All right, Kat. Always a pleasure. Anything we can do to help you out.
AJ,
Hey, welcome to
I'm
the
doing
show.
great.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
why don't you introduce yourself to the people out here? They don't know who you are. Tell them who you are, what you play.
AJ stands for Ashley Johnson.
You might have to speak up just a little bit. Pretend like you're on the field, all right? And you got the other team looking at you. Would you be loud or would you be quiet?
Probably still quiet.
I just wanted to know because when I played, I was quiet too.
Yeah, I know.
So, well, then we'll just bring that mic
Yeah,
in a
that's
little
cool.
bit. All right. Tell them who you are and what position you play.
My name's Ashley Johnson. I play tailback on offense and a little bit of free safety. I played corner.
How many years have you been playing?
3 years now. Well, we're on our off season, so
Right, we
we're
heard
not
you're
playing
coming
this
back in
year.
April 2014.
Yeah.
That's great.
Do you like offense better or defense?
Defense.
You like to hit people.
Yeah. I like to run the ball, and I'm not really too good at tailback right now, but yeah, I like defense.
Where'd you go to high school?
Woodland Hills High School.
Well, then
Churchill.
stands for work hard, right?
Yeah.
Except for when they play Gateway.
Yeah.
He's from
Oh,
Gateway.
man.
He has to bring that
He
up.
has to stir it up all the time.
Definitely.
Yeah, Woody High.
And you're looking for a sponsor to help sponsor you
Yes.
too? All right. Well, remember AJ here.
Yep.
Don't forget she's going to be, what, a safety?
Safety, free safety.
We're rooting for you on safety. I just like that look when you said you like to hit people. All right, AJ.
Nice.
It's a
AJ.
pleasure.
All right,
Good luck
great
to
job,
you.
AJ.
We got the coach here. Tell us your name.
My name is Everett Vereen.
All right, Everett. What do you coach?
Special teams, defensive line, any other positions she needs me to coach. Everett.
And how long have you been doing this?
About 2 or 3 years.
Okay. And did you play ball? It sure looks like you did.
Believe it or not, I played defensive back in Brashear, 88, 89.
Oh, Major Harris. A little
Jimmy-
bit.
Jimmy Link and Mike Booth.
Mike Booth. That's you know what? one of the greatest teams, one of the most underrated teams of all time. Michael Booth, Parade All-American,
Yes.
Jimmy Lincoln, Georgia Tech.
Yes.
Everything. Great team. Nobody talks about them, but
You just
one of
did,
the best
brother.
team I ever
You
seen.
just did, and he's agreeing
They
with
should
you.
go down as one of the
22-0,
best
2
teams.
years.
Yeah.
Didn't lose a game. Detroit Catholic lost one game in the playoffs.
And
you were the
Central won the
DB
state
then.
I
championship
was
that
on
year.
the bench.
You
I
were
was
on
on the team.
That's the
I was
year
on the team.
Central won the state championship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, they sure did.
Well, there's a little history there that Smoking Jim brings to the
Oh,
table.
Jimmy knows his stuff.
We know that.
Oh,
He
yeah.
knows his stuff.
You got to watch some of our shows.
I plan on
You have to catch some of them, and then you have to tell us about yourself here. You played. Did you go to college?
I went to Pitt and Johnstown,
Okay.
and I ended up playing rugby. How about that?
No.
Wow.
I didn't get a football scholarship because I
Sure.
didn't play a lot. So
Right.
went to the rugby team, had a little bit of fun, you know.
Sure. Keep active.
Yeah, exactly.
When you was over in Johnstown, you didn't start drinking with Hasselreg, did you?
His uncle was the dean of student life. So.
Wow.
He might have helped you.
Yeah, he might have
We'll
helped me
talk
a little
about that off air a little bit. We're here to promote the Pittsburgh Force
Right.
and the ladies football team. You're going to make them into a winner for 2014, I hear.
I'm in it to win it.
I like that. Hey, on that happy note, he's in it to win
In it to win
it.
it.
See Coach Everett right here. Hey, thanks for being on our show.
Great job, Coach.
We'll invite you back another time, okay?
Good luck to you and the team.
Thank you.
Well, my name's Crystal Lang. In correction, I'm not world-known model. Not yet, anyway.
In my mind, you are.
Jim
Not
has
yet.
anything to do with it, you will be.
I believe Think Big.
I was featured in a UK magazine, but
Wait, that's out of the
small.
United
It
States.
is out of the United States, but
UK is not
Hopefully-
US.
it's not.
It's across the pond, as they say. I don't like arguing with a guest, but you're world renowned in my book. You can be modest all you want. We're trying to help you out and promote you on our show a little bit. And you could just tell us about yourself. You got the one modeling cover on the UK.
Not a cover.
Oh, I'm teasing. Well, tell me about it.
Open mouth.
I know. I'm a model trying to get into the industry. I've been on over 40 websites, a couple magazines, 7 or 8 magazines, and I'm just starting out like any person that's trying to get into the talent industry or entertainment, period. And being working in this field in the entertainment industry, and just like athletes, it's very hard, it's very competitive.
Well, talking
But
about athletes, do you like sports at all?
somewhat, yes.
Do you have a favorite team?
I do.
What's your favorite team?
Well, Pittsburgh Steelers, of course, are my favorite.
Well, I have to ask because I don't know. Yes.
Good answer.
And did you grow up around here then?
Yes.
Where at?
Keysburg, Pennsylvania.
Guess what?
town.
My mother's family's from the Keysport.
Oh, okay.
And matter of fact, I had an uncle that taught there for years, Mr. LeWinter.
Okay.
So, and
I
he
don't remember. I couldn't wait to get out, though.
really okay. Well,
That's why
you're
I made
out.
sure I got straight A's so I could graduate high school, leave, do what I have to do.
Good. And now you're here. You made it to
Yes.
Pittsburgh Sportsline.
I
We'll
did.
see you on Pittsburgh Sportsline Facebook
Yes.
probably by tomorrow because we usually
Yeah.
post the show.
Yeah.
And you said the Steelers are your favorite team.
Yeah.
A little birdie told me that you might like the Miami Heat. Is
Oh,
there any
that's
rumor there?
That's basketball.
Well, I was just talking sports.
Go ahead, correct them, Crystal. Let them know.
I didn't realize that, but that's okay.
No.
I'm
I
teasing.
said Pittsburgh was my favorite football team. And then if you wanted to know what the other team was, then you should have said, oh, what's your favorite basketball
There
team?
you go, straighten him
Then
out.
when I would have said Miami
It's
Heat.
rarely that I get straightened out on this show, but when you have an up-and-coming model who's not world-renowned, isn't on the cover of the UK magazine, you got to put her on a cover somewhere. If not, we're going to put her on Pittsburgh Sportsline
Yeah.
Facebook.
Crystal gonna slap his tan off of it.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Obviously, his parents haven't taught him that a woman's always right.
That's right, that's right.
No comment there.
Always.
Okay. Well, that is your second favorite team? Do you have a favorite player on either team?
LeBron.
Who does he play for? So you can correct me.
He plays for the Miami Heat, but he did start out for the Cleveland Cavs.
All right.
So she does know sports.
Yeah.
And was he MVP at all?
4 times. Yeah.
Woo! She is a sports nut. There, I thought you were just a model.
They call him King James for a reason.
Wow. What's with that chalk that he's always throwing chalk in the air? Doesn't he do that? Gets all chalked up.
Get some motivation, I guess.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it intimidates the other players or something, that cloud of smoke there. So you have something right here.
Yeah.
You want to hold that up and tell us about it?
I just want everybody to come out. I'm having a birthday party Friday at S Bar.
You got to delay a little bit a second.
Anybody wearing pink gets in free because it's my favorite color until 10 o'clock. As you can tell, my undergarments show the same thing.
I wasn't looking here. I was not looking. I didn't want to get corrected.
Oh, okay. Well, you're not colorblind, so I figured you'd be able to see the hot pink.
Out of one eye. It looked brown to me.
Also, drink specials until 11 p.m. 21 and over events. Unless you have a fake ID.
Hey, whoa, no fake ID. You need that hologram on there. We are putting that on Pittsburgh Sportsline at Facebook, I guarantee it. And they're drinking every time I say that, so I might say it 10 more times. They're over 21, in case you didn't know, Crystal.
They've got a designated driver.
No, it was a joke. I don't want the bar to get sued.
No. Some of these folks, here's a disclaimer, these are the opinions of the guests and co-hosts here.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily represent the bar, BPTV, or anybody that might be offended by that.
Yeah.
I think we covered all that.
And where's this place at?
Yeah, that's what we need to
It's
know.
Southside, West Carson Street.
West Carson Street.
Yeah.
And what's the name of it?
S Bar.
S Bar.
Yes.
Okay, we'll have to look forward to that.
Yes. I'm looking for it.
And what's the day again? When's your birthday?
My birthday was May 9th, but I'm having a party on
That's
May.
what I'm looking at. I
Yes.
can't. This is confusing.
Oh,
to me.
it's right there in the pink, but since pink looks brown to you, that's why you probably didn't see it.
Now, for all you people that are colorblind,
Hey, Crystal.
that isn't fair. So she's not right about that. That was a little sarcasm, and I see sometimes when I have guests on my show, I have to explain that I'm sarcastic.
Yeah.
So it doesn't carry that well with guest hosts. So I understand. Well, thanks for explaining. You already had your birthday. Happy birthday to you. And we hope to see you on your birthday again.
Yeah.
And thanks for coming to our show.
Right,
You
thank
will
you.
soon be world renowned because this goes out in cyberspace. All right, it'll be all over the world. I guarantee it. All right, McKeesport, you take care. Thank you.
Monroeville, we're adopting a Monroeville's Crystal.
If you need any contracting, or if you just want to talk online, get a hold of Little Z. He's up at all kind of odd hours because he's doing the books.
You got it.
Hey, thanks again for those great golf shirts. I appreciate it.
No problem, no problem. Put them to good use.
And it even washed up real nice so I can wear it again.
I told you.
It didn't shrink though, just so you know.
Well, that's good. You're going to
I
have to
gotta
eat some more of
bulk
this
up.
great Sip Sports Bar
You know
food.
what? Talking about Sip's food, Tuesday night, he's my best straight man here. Campidi's Pizza smoking, Jim. They're right up the street at Potomac Avenue, Don Campidi's place, 50 cents a slice. You could have it during the Penguin game tomorrow night. We'll have our show at the same time in studio, but that's all right. And then Thursday's the Jumbo Wings. Ask Smoking Jim about the Jumbo Wings.
Delicious.
Who'd you bring up right here?
China was in the house.
I thought he was going to say India. He got so many. I mean, holy smokes.
Oh, India didn't
That's
make
what they
it.
call him, Smoking
Hey,
Jim.
Brazil's here tonight. She's
Brazil
sitting in the
is
first
here.
row.
Yeah, Brazil's always here.
And don't forget the jumbo fish sandwich with coleslaw. $7.50 on Fridays. There, we got the promotion in
There
Little
we
Z.
go.
How
You
are
gotta
you
come
doing?
out to
What's
Sips.
going on now? Let's talk some sports.
Let's talk some sports. I told you guys, man, that's why they play the games in the Penguin series.
Yep, I'll tell you
You
what.
never take your opponent for granted. Never. Never.
No, I'll tell you what, the Penguins were very lucky to get out of that series. I mean, they got outplayed 3 of those 6 games. They clearly got outplayed by the Islanders, and how they managed to win 2 of them. It's amazing.
They broke the streak. That's all I care about. They broke the New Islanders.
They did what they had to do.
They broke that Long Island curse.
I'm about the W's, Chip. I don't care how they win. When I predicted they'd win, you guys agreed too. They're going to win, but you do have to play the game. I believe every series could go 5, 6, or 7 games. To me, it doesn't matter. I enjoy good hockey. The Penguins aren't playing good hockey the whole game. That's the difference. They're not playing 60 minutes.
The difference in that series was Nabokov, because he's a horrible goaltender. He's not even a top 20 goaltender. If they had a goaltender that was at least in the top 16 goaltenders in the league, the Penguins would have lost. But Nabokov gave up a lot of easy goals.
I think you have to go back to, you got to go with number 92. You got to go with Vokoun. He pretty much won the series for you against the Islanders, so you earned the right to get the first game against the Senators. And if he blows the first game, then you go back to Fleury in the second. What do you really have to lose at this point? You didn't have this option.
I disagree. Fleury's the franchise goaltender. That's my opinion. I agree to disagree with you, buddy. I think when you have a relief pitcher, that doesn't mean he's a starting pitcher. Vokoun, when he come here, he knew what his role was. He's been a number 1. And he's not a number 1 right now.
But numbers don't lie.
But,
in the last 6 years,
I understand.
He's been very shaky in the playoffs.
I agree with Zach. I think because of the play of Vokoun in the last 2 games, and especially in overtime, against the Islanders, you start him in game 1. And, because here's what happens. If you start Fleury in game 1 and he's having a bad day, then, you're going to destroy Fleury's confidence for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, but
you run Vokoun. If Vokoun has a bad game, you can always put Fleury back in. And, Fleury's needed some time to get his head back together.
I got to disagree with both of you guys. You're my friends. But in sports, in Pittsburgh, we argue about everything. I'm even arguing whether it's sunny out.
I love a disagreement, but if the tape doesn't lie and the numbers don't lie either, and if you watch the performance of Vokoun in the last 2 games, he's handling the puck better. He's controlling the rebounds better. He's just playing better.
So he handles the puck better than Fleury every day of the week.
Correct.
I don't judge it on that. What I judge it is he won all these games the last few years. He helped us win the cup. He has guys coming in 30, 40 shots on him. They didn't play defense. They played defense the last 2 games much better. I only saw a couple 2-on-1 breaks in the last game that they won. When I watched Fleury playing, there were 7 or 8. Sometimes there were 3 guys on 1.
But Alan, let's not lose sight of the fact that look how badly he played against Tampa Bay 2 years ago in the playoffs. Look how badly he played against Philadelphia in the playoffs. Thank God the Penguins had somebody to go to rescue us from that series. If this series would have gone 7 games, the Islanders would have won it.
I can't.
had a great regular season too, as did Fleury. But like I said, every week in and week out, regular season means nothing.
I agree. I agree. I'm about the W's. We need 12 more.
We need 12 more. Who's in goal? Exactly.
I don't care how we get them. We agree on that, my friend.
On that.
But that's what makes great sports talk.
But this series coming up, the Penguins are going to have both hands full. Because I can tell you one thing the Ottawa Senators got better than the Islanders had is they have a better goaltending tandem than New York does. And they're going to give Pittsburgh's going to throw a lot of shots at them. We've got a lot of different people that can score. But if we play defense the way we played in a lot of the Islander series, Ottawa's a good enough team to give us all we need.
Well, I think there's going to be a distraction, and it's called Cook. There's going to be a distraction that they're going to want to kill him. And he likes that. He doesn't mind it. So they're going to get a little distracted. And I know our quality players will do that. The coaches aren't going to be able to control some of these guys because they want to beat them up.
But you want to know something? Look what Ottawa did against Montreal.
We've gotten a lot slower, too.
Montreal was clearly a better team than Ottawa. And the biggest mistake Ottawa could make would be to focus on Matt Cook, because they did that the last time we played them, and Vokoun was in net. What did we do? We shut them out 3-0.
Right.
See, Ottawa needs to concentrate on playing their game instead of going after Matt Cook. And if they go after Matt Cook, they're signing their own death warrant.
Well, hold it. I want them to lose, so go after Matt Cook. I'm all for it.
Please go after Matt Cook.
I'll give him the scouting report. Kill Cook.
But when we made those moves at the trade deadline, I don't think we anticipated that we would look as slow as we do a little bit. We kind of lost a little bit of that youthful enthusiasm when we brought in the Moros, the Iginlas. We kind of got a little bit slower up in the front.
But bring it
Murray's
in,
on
Tyler.
defense.
Tyler
He
Kennedy
can't get
for
back. That's
Tyler
part
Kennedy
of the breakaway.
For games 5 and 6. Tyler Kennedy and Joe Vitale.
They
brought them back in, and I think, the guys that made the biggest difference in games 5 and 6 weren't even playing in game 1. That was Crosby,
Kennedy,
Vitale, Volkun,
Dupree.
all those guys that they brought in, and Bilesmo was man enough to stand up and say, you know what, I'm not going to rock this ship down to the bottom of the sea. He made the changes he needed to make that gave the Penguins the juice they needed to get past the Islanders.
Well, my only question with Bilesma is why not sooner? Okay, that's the only thing I got to ask him. If you see these guys and you see what's going on during the games, we can pick them apart. You're the coach there. You know all the pieces to the puzzle. Start putting a couple of them in quicker. I don't mind that. That helps shake a few guys up. Maybe they'll gain that step, Little Z.
Yeah, but I can't fault Bilesma for trusting his veterans. Maybe with a veteran team like he's got, you may trust him a little bit longer than you would younger guys. But you know what? He had enough sense to make the changes when they needed to be made.
How about those Buccos, Chip?
Yeah,
I'm not
you heard
drinking the
Little
Kool-Aid
Z
still.
say it.
I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid yet, but they're
that's
playing
okay,
fundamental baseball.
Hold it, where is that Kool-Aid?
They're playing.
And that's something that can't be said for previous years where they weren't playing fundamental baseball.
They're playing
battling
very, very
hard.
good baseball, and they're using their pitching staff too much. The relievers, they're not getting enough innings out of their starters. The relievers are pitching a lot of innings, but there's some help on the way. Nelson Liriano came up.
He looked good.
Saturday. He pitched
Solid
a real good
93
game.
mile per hour fastball from start to finish.
I'm
in
glad
his
he
outing.
broke his non-pitching arm. That was great. He did fantastic.
Charlie Morton and Jeff Karstens are on the horizon, and we need the help with the starting pitching.
And that was a great game last night. That was the battle to the end last night.
Yeah,
Yes, it was. Yes,
It's
it was.
exciting
And I'll
baseball.
tell you what, some of the moves that the Pirates made, that Brandon Inge, that guy has done nothing but contribute to wins. He played for the Tigers when they went to the World Series. Last year he played on the Oakland A's team that made it to the
Where's
playoffs.
he at first base?
He's a
Utility
third
man.
baseman, and I'll tell you what, he makes big plays. He always makes a smart play, the right play at the right time. And that play he made at the end of the 8th inning yesterday to end the inning saved the game.
It did. That was a big play. I watched that live too. That was it hit the
Yeah,
bag.
it was. Made all
Hit
the
the
difference
bag,
in
and
the
the
world.
pitcher
Here, Clint Hurdle said he never saw a play like that, and almost everybody said they never saw the ball go straight up like that and have a player like Inge have the mindset.
Well, the pitcher didn't
And
quit
the
either. The
pitcher-
pitcher ran
nobody
first.
quit on the
Mellinson
play.
covered first base, and that's
Correct.
basic
And that
fundamental
goes to
baseball.
Little
It
Z's
is.
fundamentals.
It
You
is.
play the game that way, and on that happy note, fundamental,
Thanks,
take
guys.
care. Thanks for being on the show, buddy.
I hate things in my pocket. One time years ago, me and my ex-girlfriend went to the mall. She got mad at me. She had my keys. She got mad at me because another girl said hello to me. She said, "I'm throwing your keys in the river." I said, "What?" So I'm throwing your keys in the river. So on her way to the river, she went. I got her before she went to the river. And that's the last time I ever gave a girl my keys until my wife. Now I give my wife my keys. So
Except for tonight, buddy.
Except for tonight.
Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook. You get to see the coach's keys.
That's right. CMU. CMU logo.
Oh my
There you go.
goodness, Aaron, I'm not going to ask you to get a CMU logo.
Hey, before we go on, is the food here good or what?
Oh, Yes.
It is good.
Oh,
and Mark,
delicious.
and Mark and Tina are the nicest people.
Yes,
so,
they are.
They are.
I encourage everybody
Yeah,
to,
we
to,
don't
to
really
keep coming
mention
here.
Mark here. He's just like a waiter and busboy type of thing.
Yeah.
But Tina's helping to run the show.
That's for sure.
And you
That's
got
for
the
sure.
new bartender and waitress here. Kelly's running around. Thanks to Kelly. And did you get something to eat?
Yes, Tina sent me some zucchini and some shrimp, and I'm getting a hamburger in a minute. As soon as
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
done with you guys,
burgers
I'm
are
going to kill the
great. I
hamburger.
recommend the burgers.
Well,
It's all
then
good.
we'll
It's
give
all
you
good.
5 more minutes to
That's
tell
all
us
right.
what's on your mind and what you're thinking about.
Other than the food,
Yeah.
you know what? I don't know if you guys remember, Smoking Jim and I used to do a TV show, boxing TV show a few years ago.
I don't remember it. I
And
was
it
too young.
And it was fun to do. But, you know, it's disappointing you know, my parents being from Italy, that was the first sport that I was introduced to.
Right.
And it's a shame that I guess the Mayweather Guerrero fight didn't do as well pay-per-view as they expected.
Wow.
And there's no big fights anymore. You know, there's no big names anymore. Like, for example, today, Boom Boom Mancini's back in Youngstown promoting his book. I mean, and Smoking Jim and I talked about it for years. There's no Boom Booms anymore. There's no Larry Holmes or George Foreman or Tyson's for that matter. There's nothing
in Pittsburgh.
Or Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard.
I think we're having a renaissance
Well, you know,
here.
the only marketable fight he got, Money Mayweather, you know, he's handpicking all of his opponents so that he's really, I mean, what was the last time he was ever really tested, you know? I mean, you know, and he's making, you know, mega money. I mean, it just, I used to love back in the late 70s and the 80s.
Oh,
and
that was
that
the
crew
era
of
right
fighters
there.
when
That's
Ray
right.
Leonard and all that, the 76 Olympic boxing team, when they, you know, when Leon Spinks beat Muhammad Ali,
Yeah.
I mean, that was like, he shocked the world. I mean, it was great.
Even like you said, in the 70s and the 80s, forget about the Holmes and the Foreman, Frazier, Norton, and Ali. Forget about those guys. You had Ernie Shavers, you know, who was a hell of a fighter. I mean, all those guys said that he was the heaviest puncher they ever faced. I mean, he had a lot of guys that were good fighters.
How about Jerry Cooney?
Well, you know what? He wasn't bad.
He had a great left hook.
He did, and George
And he
Foreman
took a good punch.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess George Foreman said that out of all the guys he ever fought, Cooney hit him the hardest.
Really?
That's what he said. So, I mean, there's no names anymore. There's, you don't recognize half these guys. Years ago, we knew who. I'm trying to think of some guy. Dwayne Bobbick. He was. He was
another guy.
He was all right. And the Shavers and Ronaldo Snipes and all those guys. And it was
Well,
good.
who's the red-headed Mexican?
Now he's good. Canolo.
Canolo. Don't he
Alvarez.
look like Jerry Quarry's son?
but he hits harder than Corey did. Corey, there's another
Corey
guy who
was
wasn't
good.
bad.
Jerry
But
Corey was good.
he was tough. Bonavena.
Yeah.
All those guys
Oscar.
they can hit.
Do you think that maybe, you know, they've diluted the talent in boxing with so many different titles and so many, you can't keep track of who's the
Chip,
champ
I
of
think
what?
one of the things, I don't know if that may have hurt it. I think what hurt it is the lack of the Olympics, the Olympians. There's no, who's coming out now that's really big time Olympic? You know, you had Roy Jones Jr., you had Sugar Ray Leonard, obviously
I
Ali.
mean, one of the greatest fighters of all time who never did anything but fight in the Olympics, Teofilo Stevenson.
Right.
He was one of the
That's
greatest
what I
heavyweights
was going to
ever.
say. With certain boxing, you don't have enough Cubans floating in off on rafts. Some good fighters over there.
They were good fighters. But it's a shame that
There's your little political thing on
had
that.
to
So
have
you
that.
had to throw a little Castro
But it's
out
a
there.
shame that
Not the Castro, okay?
But it's a shame that the sport has gone.
Well, what do you think about the Golden Gloves? Like, now I'm involved with Smoking Jim and announcing some of these fights. Some of these young fighters look like they could maybe break the ranks here in the pros.
You know, I'm not blaming so much the fighters. I'm blaming TV.
Yeah.
As I've said before, CBS had an Italian kid who wanted to win the belt for his father, and they made a big story about it. Who was it? Boom Mancini. Then there was a guy who lost his parents, who was being trained by a guy who adopted him, and they built him up. Who was it? Mike Tyson.
Right.
Muhammad Ali, Howard Cosell, ABC Sports.
They bonded.
Vinny Pazienza on NBC. They had a fighter that they hooked onto. De La Hoya, I think ESPN, not ESPN, NBC, kind of no,
HBO.
HBO. But now with the pay-per-views being out of $70, $80, and a lot of people don't have HBO. The networks have to get back into it. I remember the Holmes Norton fight, which was a fantastic fight on ABC.
Yeah, you're right.
Ali
And
Spinks.
that's because the networks aren't shelling out the money that they can get off a pay-per-view because, you know, I mean, you know, what's bringing in the money for the networks? It's the NFL.
Right.
It's, you know, I mean,
But the thing that even if it's HBO or Showtime is kind of picking it up. They have to introduce the fighters, let people know who they are. They have to have. They just can't say, okay, here's Joe Smith. He might be good. They got to promote him.
And then they missed an opportunity with Bernard Hopkins and Rayco War Saunders sparring in a federal pen. That could have been a great story.
well, you know what? There are some local fighters that we've had
That's your
on the
brother
show
from
that
another mother.
actually do have great stories. You know, you've got Sammy.
But people have to know who they.
You know, Sammy Vasquez. You've got the young man named Sells, who just won a Golden Gloves championship. That
Yeah,
beat somebody
Johnny
Jim,
Smell. Yeah.
Jim,
People have to know who they are. They have to promote them.
Yeah.
right?
Isaiah
Good
Guy.
point,
Isaiah the Prophet Guy. Watch this young kid coming up. Not that he's being handled by little Z at all. But
And if that was my kid, I would homeschool him because he's already going to be a professional boxer at 12 years old. He don't need no more education.
Hold it,
You
watch.
go to school so that you can get a job. His job is going to be pro boxing. Drop out of school. Fifth grade is enough education.
And if you want to hear this same type of conversation, we also have this boxing match, the Golden Gloves, on BPTV. You can even see it on Pittsburgh Sportsline at Facebook. So you'll catch that there. You'll see these boxers. You get to see some of the insights that Smokin' Jim has. The brother of Claudio Rosano here. They are really brothers.
The better looking one.
More handsome. You're handsome. He's
better
more
looking
handsome.
Right, there you go.
What else do you want to talk about? We got a couple more minutes for you.
Well, our company, Paramount Scouting Bureau, is going to hold post-draft camps. We used to do pre-draft. Now we're doing post-draft. Go on our website, www.paramountscouting.com. We're going to have one in the Pittsburgh area, Geneva, New York, Canada. So, because a lot of guys are told they're going to get drafted and signed, and they don't get drafted and signed, then they have nowhere to go.
Do you have a flyer made up or something?
Right now, not yet. Not yet. We're going to be on our
If you
it'll be on our
get one,
website.
then we can promote that. You know, I got a few. Hey, by the way, Erin Ward, look at the binder she gave me. Instead of this manila folder, writing your
Big
number
time.
down. Oh, there you are, Claudia. We'll go with this. And look, I could, what's this? Renter contract. And it's everywhere. But see, you could be in the binder too.
There you go.
You'll
If you're
be
in the
there next
binder.
week.
You've made it when you're in the binder.
When you're in Al's binder.
Hey, Claudio, can you guys do baseball in the hood? Because there ain't enough brothers playing baseball.
I
anymore.
would love to. We've tried to do some camps there with Christian Sports International. We had a pretty good turnout. And that's
Probably
something
missing
that,
your hubcaps when you go back to your
no. You know
car.
what? That's something I would love to do because I have such great memories as a kid playing ball, and I would.
They're talking about memory lane. I played in Green Tree and we played Crafton. Well, I'm talking to a guy today, and I said, in
Not the
Crafton.
tough streets of Crafton. Oh, let's hear about the hood.
Main streets. Bill Cowan came from those main streets.
Anyhow, the point of it is that used to be a vibrant league. Now they can't get enough players and everything else for baseball. And this is starting to happen all over.
It is. It's a great
And
game.
that's
I have
what I
a lot
wanted
of
to
great
touch
memories,
on.
and hopefully one of the companies I'm involved with will try to do some more things in those areas because I think it's a shame because it's a great game.
I agree with you. We need more of it. I think hockey's starting to overwhelm it in our area with all the arenas. My indoor baseball thing, I know you gave me a little disrespect there, but that's okay. You can't spend $5 million, Al, on doing it and have people come there. I understand. And I'm teasing. I'm sarcastic, Claudia.
That's all right.
But you were bringing out the great points on that.
Well, like I said, it's a fun game for kids to play. And one thing, though, in all areas, when I was a kid, we used to play in the parking lot. We played on a football field, baseball. Now you don't see anybody.
Yeah, we would do it.
How about in your backyard, wiffle
We
ball?
played bunts, wiffle ball, all those things.
I can
And
remember
unfortunately, parking
playing in the
lots-
street in front of my
How
house.
about fungo?
Hitting a home run, going through my grandfather's plate glass window. You never saw 12 kids scattering cockroaches.
Nobody plays anymore. Nobody plays
We
anymore.
need a uniform.
If
And
it's
then
not
you need a
organized,
trophy.
if it's not organized, then nobody plays anymore. That's a shame.
There's no doubt. What else is on your mind before you got to hit the road here?
Again, I always appreciate being with you guys. I'm going to go eat my hamburger.
All right,
That's
Claudio.
good.
Big hand from my brother.
All right, we got Big Mike D on a little hiatus. He was traveling the country. He was also a jitney driver, I heard last week. So welcome back, Big Mike D from Pittsburgh Sports Nation.
What's up?
Check his blogs, his videos, his insights. Tomorrow night, he turned down an offer to be on our live studio show because he's tweeting, he's blogging, he's doing everything about Penguins.
Gotta remain loyal to the boys. All the
Say that again.
all the subscribers.
Okay.
They'll be sad if I ain't telling what's going on in game one against hated Senators.
We're Pittsburgh Sportsline. We got Pittsburgh in our name. We're all loyal here to whoever it may be. Even if it's Crystal here and she's loyal to Pittsburgh Sportsline.
She's going to transfer over to Pittsburgh Sports Nation. Get her some exposure.
She didn't even like us yet, so we'll see what happens on Facebook. We're working on getting a like on Pittsburgh Sportsline Facebook.
She has to have us.
And I'll tell you what. We got some fans that are drinking every time Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook's mentioned.
It's like a new drinking game.
I think I already did.
It's okay. It's okay,
I don't want to steal any of them. I want real fans. Okay, you can come back next week. All right, Big Mike D. We got to talk Penguins at least.
I do want to say one thing.
Oh, go ahead.
You guys have, what's on your mind.
Yeah, what's on your mind?
Well, what's on my mind? I'm gonna have a new tip every week.
Yeah,
for
you
the
do.
imbecile drivers that are in this area.
Hold it. Let me do a disclaimer. This is the opinion of our co-host, maybe some of our guests, but it doesn't reflect BPTV or anybody else that may be offended by imbecile drivers. I might be an imbecile. You're getting me upset.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend anyone.
Okay, thanks.
Well, maybe a few people. And attention, dummies. When you're on a highway, there's two lanes, okay? The left lane is called the what lane?
Passing.
The passing lane.
It's
not the drive alongside lane. It's called you're passing the other cars in this lane. It's not, well, I'm just going to drive 60 miles an hour and I don't care who's behind me. You see, maybe if I had, like, say, a submachine gun in my car, I could get him to drive a little faster. I mean, do like, one of those CB4 drive-bys, like in Chris Rock and stuff like that. Killing me, man. It's called a passing lane. Get out of my way. If you see a black Mustang behind you, get out of my way. It's not very hard.
I'm glad you said Mustang.
Where were you traveling from? It might be the community. I hate to get personal, but since you called us imbeciles and dummies, we want to speak out a little.
It doesn't matter where you're at. You could be on the Parkway. You could be on 79. You could be on Noblestown Road. They're there. They're waiting. It's like an assembly line of idiots. One leaves, another one gets inserted.
Wait a second. We talked before. What day was this?
Oh, this was yesterday. This is Sunday.
It's a Sunday.
We're supposed to be home.
Wait. It's a Sunday and it's Mother's Day.
Oh, they're supposed to be with their mothers and out driving.
They were traveling to see their mothers, and I saw a few of the mothers. I couldn't see them above the steering wheel out there driving too.
Probably one of them. Like the little old lady with the little purple hat and the flower. She can't see above the steering wheel.
That was the one that wouldn't let you move over.
That's the one. Yeah. I mean, hey, it doesn't matter what age. If I'm behind you and you're in my way, I gotta yell at you.
And that's Big Mike D from Pittsburgh Sports Nation's tip of the week for you.
Okay, now speaking Penguins. All right,
go ahead.
I am not the only one. Okay, that was off by a game or two.
Yeah,
and,
two maybe.
Regarding the Islanders, obviously they had a much better team than anyone anticipated.
How about they played better?
And Jonathan Tavares is, he's an MVP finalist along with Ovechkin and Crosby. So, obviously he's very good. They just sort of out-hustled and outworked the Penguins in that series. And through all the being out-hit and outshot, the Penguins still managed to win in 6 games. So that does show you how much talent the Penguins do have, even when they're not even playing at what we expect them to play at.
Well, it was a number 8
But
team.
you want to know something that was amazing about that series, and if you look at the overall play of Evgeny Malkin throughout the series, you'd say, wow, he really had a subpar series. But one of the things that you lose sight of is that he's the leading scorer in the playoffs with 11 points.
I don't think he was playing
He
bad.
had 9 assists,
which
he got 9 or 10 assists and only 1 goal. And he's playing with one arm. His shoulder is badly injured. I heard today that he's probably going to end up having to have the shoulder operated on after the playoffs are over. And he's playing sporadically because he doesn't have the strength to keep it up. And still, with one arm, he's better than most players on other teams. He played a hell of a series.
He's one of the best players in the world. I mean, him and Crosby are,
the game-tying goal. I mean, Malkin took that puck with one arm, skated back behind the ball, and set up Paul Martin for that slapper that tied the game. I mean, not many people in the NHL could do that.
You know who it reminded me of? Jaromir Jagr.
Well, him. He might not be seeing the next round. They're losing to
No, but I'm
right
saying
now.
when he was younger in his prime.
Yeah.
Well, I was watching those replays they have on Root, and he's incredible. I mean, I know everyone hates him. I
like him.
I sort of despise him for what he did to the Penguins last year, saying he wanted to come in. And
if you would have ever met Yarmer, you would learn to hate him.
Well, I've seen him. I met him when we used to be Daunties. I mean, he was like, I don't want to make fun of him, but he's a little goofy in the head. He's
positive.
not right in the head, as they say. You know what I mean?
Let's go something positive with Penguins in the next round.
I say it's positive because they got out everything and they still won in 6 games. So you got the Ottawa Senators, obviously, and this has been a hell of a rivalry.
Right.
I mean, not many people realize this, but I mean, you're not seeing 2007, they beat us.
Right.
2008, the Penguins smoked them. 2009, it was a very tough series against those guys, yet they still managed to beat the Senators again.
Right.
So here we are again, another series against these guys. They're obviously upset about the whole Matt Cook, Eric Carlson thing, where their idiotic GM and their idiotic owner accused Cook of intentionally trying to injure their star defenseman, which is total garbage. I mean, anyone who plays hockey knows that if you're trying to go into the boards, you're trying to get leverage. You're using one leg to get up and try to drive them into the boards. And it just happens that Cook's skate came down at the wrong place at the wrong time. Wasn't trying to hurt him. He's looking the other way. So unless he's like Neo from the Matrix and he could see like a 360-degree thing and see where his leg is and all that stuff there.
But you want to know something?
I mean, I know he has a history of being dirty, but that had nothing to do with that.
I
That was an unlucky play.
You want to know something about that whole issue? They said that his Achilles tendon was severed 70% of the way through.
Yeah.
And here he is 9 weeks later and he's playing again. I doubt very highly that he severed his Achilles tendon at all. Because look what happened to Kobe Bryant. Tore his Achilles tendon. They say they don't expect him to be able to play again till next December. If he did that much damage to his Achilles tendon, he would still be on crutches. He would not be
Antler
working.
underwear. Dear Antler underwear. That's how you do it. Ray Lewis will tell him.
A bunch of
or Monty Python, just but a scratch. You know what I mean?
As he
Stop
lost all his
whining,
legs.
Stop, Actually, but I'm kind of hoping that they do want to do stupid things, dumb antics, and chase after Matt Cook.
Did you hear what I said earlier? You must have missed that
No,
segment.
I'm saying, let him do it. Let him do it. Please. Please go after Matt Cook. Please do dumb things.
Right.
Put the Penguins in the power play, and we'll bye-bye in 5 games.
I'm hopeful. Even if it's 6, I don't mind.
The biggest thing, I didn't hear anything today yet. I mean, they're probably not going to announce anything tomorrow regarding Vacone or Fleury. But if I'm Bylsma, I would probably put Fleury back in for the first game.
Me too.
He's your guy. He's your bell cow. He got you there.
Whoa.
You put him in.
You're welcome back anytime. That little Z and Chip were killing me earlier.
Yeah, you got to put him in. He's the guy that got you there. But he's on a short leash now. He understands. I mean, if you mess up, the other guy's coming
Yank
in,
him.
and he knows how to win.
Yank him.
So
Well,
I would say,
they're going to need both goaltenders
I'm going
to win
Penguins
it.
in 5 against these guys. They're not as fast
You're
as the
going
Islanders.
5 again.
Yeah,
All right.
The Islanders had a good, speedy defenseman. They're flipping the puck in the Penguins' end, outworking them to the corners, and just throwing a bunch of shots at the Penguin goaltenders. Ottawa's not going to be able to do that. They don't have the kind of speed that the Islanders did. They're not as offensively gifted as some of the Islanders' forwards were. They don't have a Tavares. I mean, obviously, Carlson's a great defenseman.
Sure.
I mean, he is, every bit as good, maybe a little slightly less than our Chris Letang.
Right.
But, I think the Penguins come out tomorrow night. I think they got their scare. They get some of that adrenaline going now and say, you know what? We almost pulled a 1993 there. We gave that team a little bit more than they should have.
Right.
So I'm guessing now it's kind of like it's time to start putting the pedal to the metal.
Penguins
I think
have
tomorrow,
to play with a sense of desperation and urgency,
Yes.
which they did not play with against the Islanders. They need to play like every game they're playing is going to be their last one.
I think it was a wake-up call in that first series.
And I'm waiting to see what kind of team shows up on the ice tomorrow night. Don't get me wrong. I've been a little bit critical of them in this playoff run so far because they are definitely playing under their abilities to play. They need to ramp it up and get serious and put together.
We only got a
complete
couple
game.
minutes left, and I want to know what your thoughts are on the Pirates here this year.
Hey, we're 21-16, and they're doing what they're supposed to do. They have the lineup, they have the pitching. They're winning games they're supposed to win. They're losing games they're not really supposed to lose. I mean, playing down to their competition, so to speak.
That's a Pittsburgh tradition.
And
here.
it continues tonight. Once again, the kryptonite of the Pirates, the
Did we
Brewers.
Did we get a hit yet?
They may have a hit. I don't know. It's 3-0 right now again, and McHenry's having a Sergio Garcia type of night, where just no matter what he's doing, this ain't going right. So, I mean, still got a couple innings left to come back, but really, I am sick and tired of losing to the Brewers. I vote on possibly like sending like termites or something up to Brewer Stadium so they eat it out and their stadium explodes or something.
One of the things that I find very perplexing about what the Pirates are doing this year, and A.J. Burnett is clearly head and shoulders the ace of the staff, above everybody else. And he's actually having an amazing season. The statistics don't bear it out as far as his one-loss record, because he's getting absolutely no run production when
he's
pitches.
taking over for Paul Maholm.
He pitches a decent game, and the Pirates score 0 or 1 run, and
kind of like tonight where they have.
And I mean, he's
runs.
leading the National League in strikeouts. He's actually leading the major leagues in strikeouts.
Well,
and,
on the happy Bucko night, we'll continue this conversation when you're all watching the Penguins tomorrow night. See our Pittsburgh Sportsline in studio on Verizon 32 everywhere. You can find our show. And then you have to like us. Crystal is going to have her friends on Pittsburgh Sportsline Facebook liking us there. And we'll like your page. You just connect with me and we'll like everybody and we'll all get along. You can come back on our show. I want to thank everybody. Chip the Prophet Hayner, Smoking Jim Frazier, all our great guests. Big Mike D, Crystal's smiling. She'll be back in a couple weeks. This is my best behavior, folks. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. Thanks for watching our show. This is part of TV. I like controversy. Watch our show. Come to Sip Sports Bar. See you next week.